Another opportunity is now on the calendar for Alachua County residents to weigh in on the proposed meat processing facility that could come to Newberry.
TV20's Jordan Markoff explains why residents are divided on the facility.
And it's a way of making a living.
For Kevin Coleman, raising cattle is just what he does. But without a meat processing facility nearby, it hasn't been easy.
About an hour north of here is about the closest place you can take it to have it processed.
Alachua County officials say it's partially because of supply chain issues caused by the pandemic.
Right now, our small ranchers are experiencing 6 months to 1 year bottlenecks with processing. So when they're calling the small custom facilities, they can't get an appointment.
That's why county and city officials are hoping to build a 10,000 square foot facility.
Coleman has raised this cattle you see behind me in Newberry his whole life. He says he can't see a reason why anyone would be against this meat processing facility.
All the little small towns used to have them, and we haven't. It's gone away. Well, it would be something that you raised yourself, and you knew how it was taken care of, how it was fed, whether or not if it was grass fed or if it was grain fed, or you would know the animal that you're eating.
But some people feel the meat industry is a huge player in climate change, and a plan like this would only make things worse.
I think some people are also concerned about the idea of just eating meat in general, and I get that. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why I think this facility is so important. Our current industrial meat system and the way in which we're raising meat and processing meat in our country is very unsustainable.
County commissioners have announced they will discuss this at a meeting on April 4th. Reporting in Newberry, Jordan Markoff, TV 20 News.